Hi friends, I have a book for you today called Amazing Grace. This book is published by Scholastic and written by Mary Hoffman, illustrated by Carolyn Binch. And this is a story about a little girl who wants to do something, but there's a couple of folks who tell her that she can't. And so we're going to find out if she decides that she can and she tries to do what she wants to do. Okay? There's Amazing Grace. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her, or told to her, or made up in her own head. She didn't care if they were in books, or in movies, or out of Nana's long memory. She did not care how they were told to her. Grace just loved stories. After she had heard them, and sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out. And she always gave herself the most exciting part. Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc, and she wove a wicked web as Anansi the spider. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy, and she went exploring for lost kingdoms. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. She was Hiawatha, sitting by the shining big sea water, and Mowgli in the backyard jungle. Most of all, Grace loved to act out adventure stories and fairy tales. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She set out to seek her fortune with no companion but her trusty cat, and found a city with streets paved in gold. Or, when she was Aladdin, rubbing his magic lamp to make the genie appeared. Sometimes she could get Ma and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. One day, Grace's teacher said that they were going to do the play Peter Pan. Grace knew who she wanted to be. When she raised her hand, Raj said, "You can't be Peter. That's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." You see, the man who wrote Peter Pan, Mr. Barry, actually wrote it as a character who has white skin. That's why Natalie said that. But Grace kept her hand up. "All right," said the teacher. "Lots of you want to be Peter Pan, so we'll have auditions next week to choose parts." Auditions are when you have to say some words that the character would say up on stage, and adults get to choose which person says it the best, and then they pick that person to be that character in the play. So her teacher gave them words to learn and practice. When Grace got home, she seemed sad. "What's the matter?" said Mama. "Raj said I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." "Well, that just shows what Raj knows," said Mama. "A girl can be Peter Pan if she wants to." Grace cheered up, but then later she remembered something else. "But Natalie says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black," she said. Ma looked angry, but before she could speak, Nana said, "It seems that Natalie is another one who doesn't know nothing. You can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it." On Saturday, Nana told Grace that they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and a train into town. Nana took Grace to a grand theater. The sign outside read, "Rosalie Wilkins in Romeo and Juliet," in sparkling lights. Are we going to the ballet, Nana? Asked Grace. We are, honey. But first I want you to look at this picture. Grace looked up and saw a beautiful ballerina in a tutu. Above the dancer, it said, "Stunning new Juliet." Now, Romeo and Juliet is also a play that they turned into a ballet that has been performed usually or mostly by people who have white skin. So it's really wonderful that there's now people who have black skin who are dancing as the number one person in the ballet, as Juliet, right? That one is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad, said Nana. Trinidad is a country down in the Caribbean. Her granny and me, we grew up together on the island. She's always asking me, do I want tickets to see her Rosalie dance? So this time I said yes. After the ballet, Grace played the part of Juliet, dancing around her room in her imaginary tutu. I can be anything I want, she thought. Look at that. Amazing Grace. She's decided that she can do whatever she wants, whatever she puts her mind to. On the Monday, the class met for the auditions to choose who was best for each part. When it was Grace's turn to be Peter, she knew exactly what to do and all the words to say. She had been practicing Peter Pan all weekend. She took a deep breath and imagined herself flying. When it was time to vote, the class chose Raj to be Captain Hook and Natalie to be Wendy. There was no doubt who would be Peter Pan. Everyone voted for Grace. You were fantastic, whispered Natalie. Oh, so the class is the one who got to vote for the characters, right? Who was going to be playing each part. The play was a big success, and Grace was amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, I feel as if I could fly all the way home. You probably could, said Ma. Yes, said Nana. If Grace put her mind to it, she can do anything she wants. And you can too.